There's a pattern that plays out thousands of times every year with Subaru CVT transmissions. It starts with something small, a slight vibration you barely notice. Then, weeks pass. The vibration gets worse, but you ignore it. A few months later, you're in a repair shop getting quoted $7,000 for a transmission replacement. The mechanic tells you something that makes your stomach drop. If you had come in 3 months ago, it would have cost $400 to fix. This is the actual progression of CVT failure. Understanding this timeline could be the difference between a minor repair and financial disaster. Today, we're breaking down the 3 stages of CVT deterioration, what each stage costs to fix, and how to catch problems while they're still cheap to solve. Stage 1 is the early warning phase. Your CVT is struggling, but nothing is broken yet. The most common symptom is a shudder during acceleration, especially between 15 and 35 miles per hour. It feels like you're driving over rumble strips, even though the road is smooth. Some owners describe it as a pulsing sensation through the whole vehicle. This shudder happens because your CVT belt is starting to slip on the pulleys. The fluid has degraded enough that it can't maintain perfect friction. Every time it slips, you feel that vibration. At this stage, the belt isn't damaged, the pulleys aren't scored, nothing is broken. You're just dealing with contaminated fluid. The fix at stage 1 is straightforward, a complete CVT fluid exchange with fresh Subaru high-torque CVT fluid. This costs $300 to $500 at a dealership, or about $150 if you do it yourself. That's it, problem solved. The shuddering goes away, your transmission is back to normal. But most people ignore it. They tell themselves it's normal. They search online and find posts saying the shudder is just how CVTs feel, so they keep driving. And that's when they move into stage 2. Stage 2 is the damage accumulation phase. Now you're not just dealing with bad fluid. The constant slipping from stage 1 has started to physically damage components. The CVT belt develops glazed spots. The pulley surfaces get scratches. The valve body that controls hydraulic pressure starts to stick. The symptoms get more aggressive in stage 2. The shuddering becomes constant instead of occasional. You get hesitation during acceleration. You press the gas and nothing happens for a full second. Then the car lunges forward. The transmission temperature light might flash occasionally, especially in hot weather or stop-and-go traffic. You hear whining or humming noises that change with vehicle speed. Here's the worst part. You might see what looks like improvement. Some days the shuddering is better. This makes people think it's fixing itself. But what's actually happening is the transmission is in a cycle of damage and temporary adaptation. The computer is adjusting shift points to compensate for worn components. The underlying problem is getting worse every day you drive. The fix at stage 2 is more expensive. You're looking at a valve body replacement or rebuild, possibly new CVT belt installation, and a complete fluid exchange. This runs $1,000 to $3,000 depending on severity. It's not cheap, but it's still repairable. Your transmission doesn't need to be replaced. But most people don't act in stage 2 either. The car still drives. It gets them to work. The problems are annoying but not catastrophic, so they keep putting it off. And that's when they enter stage 3. Stage 3 is complete failure. The belt can no longer maintain any grip on the pulleys. The transmission slips constantly or won't engage at all. The car either won't move or barely crawls forward with the engine revving uselessly. The transmission temperature warning light is on permanently. You smell burning fluid. In some cases, the car stops moving entirely while you're driving. At stage 3, there's no repair option. The damage is too extensive. Metal particles from the worn belt and pulleys have contaminated the entire system. The valve body is destroyed. The bearings are shot. Even if you replace the belt and fluid, the contamination would destroy the new parts within weeks. Your only option is complete transmission replacement, $5,000 to $8,000. If you had caught this in stage 1, you would have spent $400. Stage 2, maybe $2,000. But you waited until stage 3, and now you're paying $8,000. That's a $7,000 mistake that could have been avoided. Let me give you specific symptoms at each stage. Stage 1 symptoms: shuddering between 15 and 35 miles per hour during gentle acceleration, occasional hesitation when you first press the gas from a stop, slightly rougher shifts than when the car was new, fuel economy dropping by 1 or 2 miles per gallon. If you feel any of these, get a CVT fluid service immediately. Stage 2 symptoms: constant shuddering during any acceleration, noticeable delay every time you press the gas, whining, humming, or droning noises that weren't there before, transmission temperature light flashing during highway driving. Check engine light with codes P0713, P0733, P1730, or P0868. If you have these, you need professional diagnosis. Stage 3 symptoms: transmission slipping where the engine revs but the car barely moves, complete loss of drive where the car won't move at all, burning smell from under the vehicle, transmission temperature light on solid, metal debris visible in the transmission fluid. If you're seeing these, start getting quotes for transmission replacement. Now let's talk about prevention. Subaru originally said CVT fluid was lifetime. They've quietly stopped saying that because it was never true. CVT fluid degrades from heat and friction. By 60,000 miles, it's contaminated and has lost its ability to maintain proper pressure and friction. The most important thing you can do is change your CVT fluid every 60,000 miles maximum. If you drive in severe conditions, meaning lots of stop-and-go traffic, hot climates, hilly terrain, or any towing, change it every 30,000 miles. Use only Subaru high-torque CVT fluid. Generic CVT fluid will destroy your transmission. Second, pay attention to how your transmission feels and sounds. You drive your car every day. You know what normal feels like. The moment something changes, investigate it. Don't wait. Don't assume it will go away. The earlier you catch problems, the cheaper they are to fix. Third, avoid hard acceleration from stops. CVT transmissions don't handle high torque loads well. Gradual, smooth acceleration extends transmission life significantly. Fourth, if your Subaru is still under warranty, document everything. Get shuddering or hesitation on record with the dealer, even if they say it's normal. Subaru extended CVT warranties to 10 years or 100,000 miles on many models, specifically because of reliability issues. Most CVT replacements could have been prevented with a $400 fluid service done at the right time, but owners don't know to do that service because the car kept running fine until suddenly it didn't. Now you know the 3 stages, you know the symptoms, you know the costs, you know what to do. This knowledge gives you control. The next time you feel that first little shudder, you won't ignore it. You'll recognize it for what it is, an expensive problem while it's still cheap to fix. Your CVT transmission doesn't fail randomly. It fails predictably, in stages, with plenty of warning. The only question is whether you'll pay attention. $400 now or $7,000 later. The choice is yours. If this video just saved you thousands of dollars, subscribe to the channel. We're here to give you the information dealerships should tell you but don't. Thanks for watching.